Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee, the definition of excitement, the flames, the horsepower, the acceleration, and the speed. This is where thrills happen. Robert Hight was excited but not thrilled with a face full of fire yesterday. Stand by. The NHRA is coming your way. The NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. You get the general idea. Two cars race head-to-head, and the first one to the finish line wins. But there's a lot more to it than that. So today we bring you NHRA 101. We'll educate both brand new fans and seasoned veterans on some of the ins and outs of the sport. It's NHRA 101, and class is in session. Morgan Lucas, Terry Haddock, Top Fuel, and they're ready for the burnout. Well, Mike Dunn, since school is underway, let's talk about burnout.
Hey, after we just saw a couple of them, let's talk about the explanation. Is the spinning of the rear tires in water before a run in which it heats and cleans the rubber, resulting in increased traction. But I'll tell you what, it's also a lot of fun to watch, especially when you do a lot of tire smoke. And as a driver back in the old day before they had throttle stops, it was a lot of fun to be able to feather that throttle and just control that wheel speed and get to a lot of smoke. And do about an 1/8 mile burnout, but the crew chiefs, they don't like them long ones anymore.
Yeah, and
they take the fun out.
You're an enormous fan of side-by-side burnouts too, aren't you?
Love them. Can't get enough of them.
All right, here's Morgan Lucas finishing his. Let's, as we get ready for this first pair in Top Fuel, send you off to Dave Reed.
And let's flash back to St. Louis and talk about Del Worsham, the funny car winner there for Alan Nobby. And now Alan Nobby has a win in both Nitro categories. Coming into this weekend, I had a chance to talk to Del, who told me that even he didn't think the team's first win would come this quick. We're a startup team just 6 months ago, and with the new crew chief, Aaron Brooks, struggling to make the motor and clutch come together, it was a bit of a surprise. But they have come together, and having met expectations so soon, they now expect to be competitive the rest of the way. Keep in mind, success breeds confidence, and you're now looking at one very confident duo.
So there's Terry Haddock. He won the IHRA Funny Car Championship last season. Third race here. And Morgan Lucas lights the tires early. Haddock doesn't get down that much better. He does run a 4:35 at 235 miles an hour. And that does improve him one position from 15 up to 14. The NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series is on the air now from the beautiful Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee. Bruton Smith did a great job when he took his track over. Look at those grandstands. Look at the fans. We're looking forward to one really good day. And we start in Top Fuel, and we're going to take you back to last evening. Nice cool temperatures, nighttime.
Under the lights. Look at the header flames. You're going to see Corey McClellan, Antron Brown. Antron smokes tires, but how about Corey Mack goes to the head of the class at 387 at 312 miles per hour.
And so the standings right now with Corey Mack sitting #1. And remember, he had a very bad accident here a couple years ago, even though he came back to race. But there is the order down through Doug Herbert, who is back.
That's right. In the bottom half of the ladder, remember, only the 12 best times from yesterday carried over. Pat Dakin, Terry Haddock have already run. So we have 14 cars with that number 14 spot being that 4:35 elapsed time.
And those who have not yet qualified include Spencer Massey, who everybody is expecting so much out of this season. Well, hi, everybody. Class is now in session. I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn, Professor Dunn, because he's put the class plan together for today. Don't forget, coverage of the finals comes 7 o'clock tomorrow night. But Mike Dunn, since we're in class, let's start this thing out. Something pretty complicated. Density altitude.
Well, we're always talking about the weather, and density altitude is a key factor for the crew chiefs. It is a calculated equivalent altitude for the current conditions. They combine the temperature, humidity, and the barometric pressures to create a number that indicates the altitude that the engines are running in. And basically, the higher numbers means worse air, the lower numbers mean better air. And so you may ask, well, what is the density altitude right now? I'm going to show you right there. 3,600 feet above sea level. The actual track elevation is about 1,500 feet above sea level, but when you factor in the heat, humidity, and barometric pressure, those engines think they're running about 3,600 feet.
Well, now, so I'm a crew chief. What do I want to see there?
Well, I mean, the lower the better. It's easier to make horsepower, especially in Pro Stock, normally aspirated. They can make it normally. The fuel guys, what they can do, if it gets worse air, higher altitude, they spin a supercharger faster to force that air into the engine.
Back top fuel qualifying, Doug Kalitta and Joe Hartley. Hartley needs this run. He's trying to get in. He runs a 4:13 at 266 miles an hour, and that does get him in from 17th and put Spencer Massey on the bump. Doug Kalitta is where he was when he started the run, 9th.
Saw him drive up into tire smoke. Tricky track conditions out there in the Pro Stock class. We saw a lot of Pro Stockers struggle. They couldn't even get under 1 second and 60 foot, which is usually an indication that there's not a whole lot of bite out there. The fuel guys, they can back the engine down, back the clutch down, soften it up a little bit, try to get through those spots. But obviously, Doug Kalitta just had a little bit too much in it.
And the next pair, Spencer Massey and Antron Brown. Listen to that echo. Speaking of Antron Brown, here's Gary Terrell.
Well, clearly the man with the hot hand in Top Fuel is Antron Brown. Coming off the victory in St. Louis, our last event, his second claim of a Wally this year. And the consistency for this man has been very impressive this season. Consider his round record. 16 wins, only 5 losses. He's qualified in the top half of the field at every event this year. He's currently in the number 7 spot. And oh, by the way, he's also back in the lead in the terms of the championship point standing.
And without any first-round losses this season, starting to get into that Tony Schumacher area as well. Spencer Massey driving for the snake. It's so cool to be able to say just something like that. There's Antron.
You mentioned Spencer not a part of the show so far. Actually had a little bit of an issue yesterday waiting for another car that had a throttle cable snap. They had to push that car off. Needless to say, he's sitting on the racetrack, Mike. Engine is just running right now, and by the time they get around to letting that car go, turning it loose, it dropped a cylinder because it sat there so darn long.
Along with Donnie Bender as the crew chief, Spencer scored his first career pole at Atlanta. Here he sits 16th, just trying to get in.
Whoa.
And that ain't going to do it for either one of them. Probably a good move to at least get it down the track, get some numbers there.
Yeah, obviously, because he didn't have a time that carried over, so he whatever he run is on this run is going to give him that time, puts him in there. And he's currently the number 16 spot with a 694. Now let's go on board and watch as he smokes tires as soon as he hits the throttle. Watch the back end just washes out, and he's basically doing a sideways drift trying to get it corrected. Then he squares it up, gets back on the throttle, lifts the front end up a little bit, spins the tires again, does the best job he can to try to get to the finish line under power. But he does just what he needs to do at that point. Let's listen in.
And that may have been a fairly important run for Spencer Massey, considering threatening weather a little later in the day. So Top Fuel qualifying session 3 is underway, and there is plenty more yet to come.
ESPN's presentation of the Thunder Valley Nationals brought to you by Full Throttle. Go full throttle or go home. And Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Back in Thunder Valley, here comes Troy Buff and Doug Herbert. Let's go to the far end. Gary Gerould has Antron Brown.
Antron, we were mentioning that you are back in that #1 spot as a leader in the point standings. How much easier is it to be the leader than to be the guy who's chasing, trying to catch up?
Well, I mean, you got a little pressure off. You just want to maintain, but we still want to attack them hard. I mean, when you're behind, you got that deal where, you know, just keep on surging. If you mess up, then you're behind still. But when you're in the front, you mess up, you're like, all right, can he go out? Can this guy take him out? So it's a benefit being up front, and we just want to keep it going. I mean, we want to keep on gathering that momentum and build up more rounds, more information, makes your team stronger. And when you get into that countdown, you want to continue that same momentum going on. Once you get on that momentum, you don't want to get off that horse, trust me.
That's why they enjoy being in the top half of the field week after week. Get that lane choice first round of eliminations.
Without a doubt.
Well, there's Doug Herbert. That's right. He's back on a deal that just got done about 48 hours ago. He's been working hard away from the track, building that land speed record car with Ray Everham, and they say that's going along well.
Boy, and he looked awfully good yesterday. Made 2 runs right down the racetrack, a 397 and a 390, good enough for the number 8 spot for right now. Not too shabby.
Troy Buff here on the near side, driving for Bill Miller, and he lights the tires early. And then Herbert just shuts her down. Herbert was 8th, Buff was 10th. Nothing will change there.
Well, Troy Buff, he spun the tires as soon as he hit the throttle. You're going to see what happens here. As the engine RPM goes up pretty quick, and a lot of times you get a little bit of a backfire through the supercharger. Boom, right there. Just kind of over-revved it at the hit of the throttle. Doug Herbert had a nice run going, but then spun the tires down track, and that's why he shut off. He knew he wasn't going to improve.
Well, as Shawn Langdon and Larry Dixon come to the line, we're talking supercharger, and we go to Dave Reed.
Hey, what is going on, fellas? Just hanging out over here at Clay Millican's, doing a little vacuuming, helping to pick up just a bit. Now, you ever wonder how a vacuum really works? We'll turn this thing upside down. You can see here's a beater bar. Inside of here, a motor that has rotors that are constantly turning. And the combined action uses suction to draw up dirt off the ground. The more air you get through here, the more dirt you pick up. Kind of reminds me of a supercharger for the nitro cars. You can see here the supercharger unit from the hat all the way down to the housing. Now flip that housing upside down. You can see exactly what we're talking about here. Those are the rotors that compress the air that flows into the engine. They put air into each one of the cylinders. More air means more power. So if you want to go quicker and faster, figure out a way how to spin that thing faster. If you want to pick up dirt, guys, hate to tell you this, power's got to be on. Back to you two dirtbags.
Oh, that one. Nice.
He call us dirtbags?
He certainly did. We're not going to get him on anymore.
I resemble that
shoe
statement.
Fits exactly, Mike.
Larry Dixon and Shawn Langdon. Both of them have to jump out of it. They will remain 4th and 5th. Langdon, who last night went down at night for the first time in his Top Fuel career, and he had a little apprehensions about it. Morgan Lucas, his teammate, had to really talk him through it, tell him what to expect.
Well, but unlike last night, he didn't get all the way to the finish line. Both cars spinning the tires down track. It's just tough out there right now. Take another look at Larry Dixon. He launches off the line, had some pretty good 60-foot time. He was probably ready for it, but then as soon as they tried to apply that clutch and horsepower out there, those big Goodyears just wouldn't hold it, and Larry felt that and got out of the throttle.
Just to make sure you remember, we will have the Full Throttle Drag Racing Series final eliminations for the Thunder Valley Nationals. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, ESPN2. Mike Dunn, Dave Reef, and the gang will warm you up with NHRA Race Day presented by Lucas Oil at 11 o'clock in the morning. Here comes Clay Millican and Tony Schumacher. They get ready to burn it out. Wow, I just love it. Just you sit, you listen to those motors. So good. To the far end once again, and Gary Gerould.
While we're talking about NHRA 101, some of the terminology, and you frequently hear you guys in the booth talking about blower belts. Well, here on Doug Herbert's car is a very easily seen. This is, as you see the definition here, the unit, a rubber belt, links the engine to the supercharger by means of cogs. You can see these cogs are almost like a gear. The blower belt turns the supercharger, allowing for more air to enter into the motor. These are replaced with every run, and believe me, they're not cheap. That's about $300 to $350 for one of these belts. You've got 4 qualifying sessions, then hopefully on race day you've got 4 more runs to get you into the finals. So you go through a lot of money just in blower belts in one race weekend.
And the power to drive that belt's coming off the front of the engine.
Yeah, from off the crankshaft. And they say it's as much as 1,500 horsepower to turn these big superchargers over to create the kind of boost that they are. So imagine that. They're producing 7,000 to 8,000 horsepower, but 1,500 of it, you know, is actually trying to, I mean, basically a pro stock engine to turn that supercharger over.
Almost twice the power of any other American race car just to turn the blower.
Yeah, I mean, that has increased over the years as the superchargers have gotten bigger and they create more cylinder pressure, more blower manifold pressure. It's getting hard. It gets harder and harder and takes more power to turn those superchargers over.
Tony Schumacher, #1 qualifier here the last 2 years, currently is 3rd. And both of them find trouble, and Schumacher will remain 3rd. Milliken will stay 6th.
I can remember I worked for Mooneyham Blowers back in the day, and he had a blower dyno, and he had a small block Chevy engine that produced about, it was a pretty good small block, about 400 horsepower. They could not turn over the superchargers in the day, and they were nothing compared to what these guys are running right now.
Tony Schumacher and the Army gang, of course, celebrating Armed Forces Day today. Back at the line, Corey Mack, he's #1. Brandon Bernstein, #2. We've only seen one position change during this qualifying. We want to show you the 60-foot mark. And 60-foot time, Mike Dunn, the time that it takes a vehicle to cover the first 60 feet of the racetrack. Typical of Dave Reef, he figures out a novel way to show us a little bit earlier.
Of all the incremental times, probably the most important when it comes to tuning a race car is the 60-foot time. Simply put, that's the amount of time it takes a car to cover the first 60 feet of the racetrack, from the starting line where I'm standing down to that cone. Now, Top Fuel and Funny Cars will do it at about 0.8, 0.9 seconds. Pro Stock a tick less than a second. We're going to find out how fast I can cover it on 2 feet right now. This was a bad idea. But certainly a lot of fun. And Mike and Paul, as I catch my breath, why don't you tell us the significance of that 60-foot time? 2.8.
Well, the key to that's getting the launch. Basically, you want to get the car up to speed, a certain amount of wheel speed. That's why they use that 60-foot time. It's so important to determine that. And usually in a fuel car, in 60 feet, they're reaching almost 100 miles per hour by the time they hit that timing block.
2.86, probably a record for a human at 60 feet.
I was impressed.
Yeah. Nobody else ever scored it. Bernstein gets himself in trouble, and Corey Mack has to backpedal it a little bit as well. So Corey Mack will stay #1. Brandon Bernstein stays #2.
Take another look at it. We talk about 60-foot. Brandon was 874. Corey a little bit better, 869. But then shortly after that, you see Brandon start spinning the tires. Corey has a cylinder out on the left side of that engine. And at that point, I think Corey just felt that he knew it wasn't going anywhere. And the veteran driver that he is, he just clicked it off.
The 60-foot times, there they are. The 874 and the 869 for Corey Mack.
It's just under 9/10 of a second. That's a pretty good move when you hit the throttle. The big acceleration for the cars on a good run, though, is from that 60 to the 8th mile. That's where you really start pouring it on.
And as long as we're talking about incrementals, which is what you just saw, here is what they are.
They record times at the 60-foot, the 330, the 660, and the 1,000-foot marks on the racetrack. Recorded primarily for the benefit of the drivers in the team, because basically we're just stick with the elapsed time at the finish line to see who wins.
And guess what's coming up? More nitro. It'll be funny car. Ashley Force, right now, she is #1. But her teammate, Robert Hight, well, he is still struggling. Stick around. We'll be right back. Back at Thunder Valley, I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn. Funny cars come to the line, and we start with Tony Pedregon. Let's get you up to date on the top fuel standings with that session now complete. Corey Mack remains #1. Doug Herbert fills out the last position in the top 8. But look at there, Michael Gunderson got in, and when he did that, it booted Spencer Massey out of the field. So as a result, Massey and the Golden Greek, neither one have made it in the field. We want to take you back last night and Tony Pedregon.
Well, this is a classic two-step. Tony just basically reacted to the to what he thought was going to be the light, and then he realized it wasn't on. He got out of the throttle and just totally messed up the run. And I'm sure he was kicking himself. Tony Pedregon, one of the best drivers in the business, but he really did not want to. You don't want to give that away in those kind of conditions.
And so that puts Tony Pedregon up right now. It's a single run. Jimmy Johnson Foundation, the livery on the car, helps disadvantage people. Let's see what he does here. He takes it all the way down, 425, 290 miles an hour, and that gets him a 13th.
I'll tell you, that's basically a good run based on what we saw in Top Fuel. They struggled big time getting down the racetrack, and funny cars are usually even more touchy trying to get through the middle. So, I mean, obviously they backed it down only to run a 425. Low ET's a 410 elapsed time, but they did exactly what they had to do. Just get that thing down the racetrack and try to get it in the show. Nice job.
Well, you just mentioned backing it down, and they're having trouble. At least Top Fuel did reading this track. It's been pretty tricky for them thus far. There's a great example right there. And so, what about backing it down? Let's go to Dave Reed.
No, basically that means, guys, you're reducing power. There are a number of ways to do that, from thicker head gaskets, slowing the supercharger, diluting the nitro, retarding the ignition timing, reducing the amount of clutch engagement, and reducing fuel flow. We were hoping to get with Jim Head real quick, who was just working on how he's backing down the Western Governor's car. After all, this guy's an innovator in this class. How are you trying to back it down so your car, the Western Governor's car, goes down the racetrack right now?
Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. The way we do it on my funny car is timing manipulation. We take a lot of lead out of it. It's the place where we're worried about it. So we think we can run a 418 or a 419 if I get it right. If not, we'll see. Right.
Nice, clean run. And you know what that does, Paul? When you take the timing out of it, it basically takes away power. It's not burning as much fuel. And it also drops the engine RPM when you do that. And when you drop the engine RPM, it's a centrifugal clutch, so it also slows the clutch engagement. So it basically covers everything you need to do by just taking that timing away. Key is you take enough away, and the other thing is if you take enough of timing away, you also got to manage your fuel flow. It won't burn as much fuel, so you run the risk of dropping a cylinder. So they've got to walk that fine line.
Here is Robert Hight, who's been struggling this year. This is his 100th race weekend, and 29 times he has been the #1 qualifier. So Hight trying to get in, and on the other side also trying to get in is Jerry Tolliver. Jim Dunn leans over the top of that car, looks across, gets Jimmy Prock's indication that they're ready, and here we go. Tolliver and Hight both trying to get in. Well, Hight still having his problems. Tolliver not that much better, but because they take the top 12 at the beginning, both of them are in. Tolliver at 14th, Hight at 15th. Well, as we look at the back end, see down there at the bottom, that's the wheelie bar. So that's the next part of our NHRA 101.
And it's a device that's attached to the back of the vehicle designed to prevent excessive lifting of the vehicle's front wheels. Now we see with Funny Car, they've gone from a single wheelie bar positioned in the center of the car, like we see on Jerry Tolliver's, to a double wheelie bar on Robert Hites. A number of the teams are going to the double wheelie bar, and the reason being is because of the torque of the engine wants to plant the right tire a little bit harder. So by getting the double wheelie bar, they put the wheelie bar more over to the right. It actually keeps the right tire from squatting as much so that the car drives up on the tire more evenly, giving it a better chance for traction. Now, they basically have decided that we could probably just put the right one on there to make it work off the launch. You put the other one on there because what happens if the car goes out there and the clutch starts engaging, you know, it would go over backwards if you just had the right one on. So they use that for stability. The Pro Stockers, same thing. They use that. You see the right side is dropped, set down much lower because of the torque of that engine to help drive that car straight down the racetrack.
Right. And in Pro Stock, we have been seeing the other thing going from 2 down to 1 and some offset. So here is Bob Bodie and Andy Kelly. And let's talk about fire bottles. Another name for fire extinguishers. They look like bottles. There they are. They're mounted in the race car, activated by the driver or sometimes automatically when a fire is present.
And in funny cars, they can be mounted either in the front or the back. We're going to take another look at Robert Hites, who had a big fire in that left-hand lane yesterday.
And the bottles activate. Oh, look at that. But they quash that fire pretty quickly.
I've had to use fire bottles once or twice in my career driving funny cars, trust me. Sometimes they're your best friend.
There are the fire bottles sitting up front. And here comes Bodie and Kelly. Kelly, third ever NHRA race. Race last season with the IHRA. Funny car, won twice. There is Bob Bodie. Raced the first 5 events of the season. Good to see him participating so much this year.
And Bob looked really good in Vegas, where he was really excited that he came out of Friday's qualifying that #1 spot. Got bumped down a little bit on Saturday, but still made an impressive showing.
Kelly just trying to get it into the field, runs a 4.63.3, and that does put him in. Sticks him in at 15th. Robert Hites is the bump with a 92 and 1 session to go. Let's go to Gary Gerould.
Well, you saw the video of that spectacular explosion and fire that Robert Hites had to weather last night. And, of course, in the dark, it really accentuated things. A cockpit full of fire. You hit the fire bottles. You've got 6 different nozzles, I understand. Can you show us quickly, Robert, where they're located and how they help you in that situation?
Yeah. This one here is spraying out. It sprays on both sides, the fuel tank and over the toy box that we call it the management system. There's 2 more on each side in here in the front of the engine. There's 2 behind the engine. There's 1 on me. And there's also 2 more that are down inside the diaper, so that if you have a pan fire, it starts at the source of the fire, and it's spraying the liquid in there.
And, of course, after you've activated that, it's a big cleanup job, I'm sure.
Yes, it is, yeah. It gets all over the racetrack, and that stuff will actually blow some of the oil out of the diaper, so it makes a mess everywhere. The race car, we've got great guys here on this Auto Club team, and we rebuilt it and rewired it, and we got one more shot here. We're ready to get in.
He's a former crew guy. He knows all about that. But I'm telling you right now, Paul, if I'm a driver, I'd be lobbying for more than 1 nozzle pointed at me.
I'll tell you what, if I was a driver, I'd be carrying one of those bottles into the cockpit with me. Well, Robert Hites done it now. We got toy box and diaper. We got to add those onto the list of things we explain as we take one more look at Robert Hites in his fire yesterday. Things are not going well. Be right back. Well, we're back in Thunder Valley. Here is Mike Neff and Jim Head. We talked to him just a moment ago at Thunder Valley, qualifying session 3 for Funny Car. Well, and Head goes away early. Neff, that's a 4.26. It doesn't help either one. Neff remains 11th. Head remains in 9th.
Well, we talked about Jim backing it down. Obviously, he didn't back it down enough. Mike Neff, they did back it down, but it put a cylinder out. Made it to the finish line on 7 cylinders, but only ran a 4.26, which is better than what Jim Head did, though.
And so here comes Cruz Pedregon and Ron Capps. They are 5th and 6th. Cruz is done. Ron Capps with new special livery on the car for this weekend. Runs a 420. It doesn't improve either one. They remain 5th and 6th.
Key here, though, is just getting down the racetrack, Paul, and Ron Capps did cruise. He spun the tires. You saw him. He caught it pretty quick. He's been doing this for a long time. I tell you, Capps and the Ace are doing a good job right down the racetrack. A 420 laps time. I think they'll be happy with that based on the conditions.
ABC is your destination for the NBA playoffs on Sunday as the Rockets take on the Lakers. The conference semifinals of the NBA playoffs continue on ABC. Coverage begins at 3 with GMC NBA Countdown. So we look down to the line once again, and there is John Force. Austin Coyle tells him he's ready. 2 Fords there because that's Bob Tasca in the other lane. Again, both trying to improve. Nobody's done that in funny cars. Won't happen for Tasca. John Force a 419, and he stays in 7th place. Tasca stays in 8th.
That still is a very good run based on the conditions. The quickest run of the session thus far. Talked to Austin Coyle. He felt confident that they were starting to turn the corner on this race car. And I'll tell you what, a 419 in these conditions tells me that they probably have, because that's a very nice pass for these hot, greasy racetrack.
So the quickest time to the session thus far. You see John Force, he just ran that 419. Capps, Pedregon, Mike Neff, Jeff Wren, those are the top 5 in the session. And here comes Matt Hagan and Tim Wilkerson to the line now. Hagan, 6th in the points, first full season in funny car. He ran low ET and top speed of the event at St. Louis in round 1.
He definitely looked good. The rookie driver's doing a fantastic job. Getting this car down the racetrack. I'm very impressed with this poise, but you know, in the other lane, Tim Wilkerson, you know, he's been struggling beginning this season, but this car has been getting better and better. He broke into the top 10 after St. Louis, and he feels confident that they're starting to turn the corner with this race car. And based on that 410 laps time last evening, which puts him in the number 2 spot, I gotta believe it. But now the key is you're not going to be able to run a 410 in these conditions. What can he run? He wants to get that good data to be able to get more confidence in the tune-up on that race car in all kinds of conditions.
If he stays 2nd, that will be his best of the season. But think about this. A year ago, Tim Wilkerson was 9th. Well, he's 9th in the points now. A year ago, he led the points. What a difference the year makes. Be a good song. A 422 for Wilkerson and a 427 for Hagan. So Matt Hagan will remain 4th. Tim Wilkerson will remain in 2nd. And that'll bring our final pair up at the starting line as we see Matt Hagan slow to a stop at the far end, and it's Ashley Force Hood and Del Worsham. For Del, Sunday is going to be his 350th race day. He's finally, with that win, looking so good now. Got some more terminology. NHRA 101. A little bit earlier, Dave Reef caught up with Aaron Brooks.
Guys, I'd need at least a Wyotech education or to spend a couple of years out here to even tell you about the management box. But fortunately, I know Aaron Brooks, and he can handle that.
Yeah, basically everything we have here controls all the functions on the car. You know, this is our clutch controller. This is a series of valves that hydraulically controls the throwout bearing. These are the timers down here that are activated, electric timers that activate these valves. Those are controlled by these electronic timers in this box. This box here is the same type of timers, but this controls our fuel system. Basically, the only thing left is our battery, which that runs the whole ignition system, and these are the Hobbs switches, which basically when he hits the gas pedal, those things activate all this stuff.
Did you manage to take all that in?
And And that's what Robert Hight called the toy box a few minutes ago.
That's right, because we're always playing in it. Because a lot of times, especially when conditions are like this, the teams will watch the other cars and they'll go back there and they'll start making adjustments on that in those boxes. The clutch flows, they can slow the clutch down. Then they also have to adjust the timing, the timing system and everything to coincide with what they're doing. So one adjustment will affect 2 or 3 others. So it's a
bio blast on Del Worsham. His career, the youngest driver to win a funny car event. He did it when he was 21.
And he ran both funny car and top fuel from 1993 to 95. His best funny car points finish was second in 2004. 23 career wins, 7th most on the list. Del Worsham has already had a great career, and he's still got more to come.
So there is Del, Alanabi Racing, Ashley Forrest Hood. Here she comes. Number 1 qualifier at Atlanta. That was her season best. Only member of Team Forrest to win a race since Robert Hight won at Indy last year. 4-car team and that record. Del's gone. Ashley's gone. Boy, she really twisted that thing sideways. So Ashley remains number 1. Del Worsham remains number 3. But 2 very interesting runs down the track.
Well, as you said, take a look at the left side. I mean, Del smokes tires early, but boy, look at that thing make a move when Ashley spun the tires. Obviously, she was a little bit farther down track, so it had a little bit more speed. And when it lit it up, boy, it made a hard left turn, and she gets out of it. Take another look at it. And you're going to see this thing. I mean, it's pretty like straight and true. And then all of a sudden, it's going to go out there. And as soon as it smokes the tires, boom, boy, that thing makes it go sideways and then goes, she gets her, boy, that thing was slaloming. I can't even say that word. It was sliding around a lot is what I want to say. Yeah, don't let drag racers try to say fancy words, folks.
Slalom, that is not a drag racing term. I don't know why you used it.
I don't either.
Ashley Forrest Hood still is number 1. Tim Wilkerson's having a good day, sits up there in 2nd. Bob Tasca, the 3rd, rounds out the top half of the field.
And the bottom 8, they'll want to focus on that number 13 spot. Tony Petrick on 425. That was actually a great pass for not being in the show to get down the track. He was the quickest of the non-qualified cars. And number 16 on the bump spot is Andy Kelly.
Now, what name is missing from that field? Robert Hight, still not in this field. So when we come back, we'll be talking some top fuel. Corey McLenithan, he is number 1. Can he stay there? And Spencer Massey, hey, he's not even in the field. NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. We're in Thunder Valley. This was Larry Dixon last night. Boy, qualifying so cool under the lights. The flames really show. If you haven't been to a night qualifying, make sure you go. It's the 3rd, the final session for Pro Stock. And Steve Spieth and Erica Enders are at the line. Mike Edwards sits number 1. He's been so powerful this year, followed by Jeg and Greg Anderson. Roger Brogdon rounds out the 8th position in the top half of the field.
And the bottom 8, you're going to have Kurt Johnson at number 9 spot. Will want to move up in the top half, but Ronnie Humphrey, he's on the bump spot. If you're not in, you're going to have to run quicker than a 680 with a 2.
There are 21 Pro Stock cars here. Those are the ones not qualified, including, as you see, Erica and Steve, both on the line right now. The bump is Humphrey with a 680 with a 2.
Steve Spieth, a little bit of a surprise after DNQing at Pomona. He's qualified for every race coming into this one. He's number 17 right now with a 682. He's going to have to pick up a couple hundreds to get into the show.
And one of the things about night qualifying is it is so hard to do and come back then and run really fast on the sunshine. And so both Erica and Steve will not make it into the field, and the field in Pro Stock is now set. Gary Gerould has Del Worsham.
Del, of course, the victory at St. Louis at the last event, a huge lift for a team that had been striving for that moment. How much does it relieve you in terms of, does it have any significance in terms of pressure?
No, well, just the pressure you put on yourself. You know, you always want to win a race, and you want to win as soon as possible, so that I quit getting asked the question. I keep seeing everywhere that when are you going to win, or you finally won. Well, we're only 7 races in and we won, so I thought we did a pretty good job. But yeah, I mean, that's out of the way now. We'll get on with just trying to make sure we get a spot in this top 10 to make the countdown after Indy to make a run for the championship. That's our main goal here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And that was the win for Del Worsham. Good moment. Even Larry Dixon, his teammate, loved it. Here is Ronnie Humphrey and Justin Humphreys. We've had this pair on the line side by side before. For Ronnie, he's DNQ'd here, 04, 05, 06. And Justin, he still races his old Lexus 4-door turbo car down in Puerto Rico.
Now, right now, as you said, both these cars and drivers are in the field, and right now they just want to try to make a run in these conditions to see what they're going to be able to look at for tomorrow's eliminations. And right now, I think, you know, obviously tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. They're talking about a cold front moving in here, and that really helps the pro stocks because the cooler the air is, the better it is. They make more horsepower and can run a lot quicker and faster.
Humphreys 678 with a 2, 202 miles an hour, 679 with a 2 for Humphrey. They both move up 1 position. And to make sure you have the schedule for tomorrow, the Thunder Valley Nationals from Bristol, Tennessee. Al Mike will get them going along with Dave Reef with NHRA Race Day presented by Lucas Oil. Who are you going to have on the show?
Del Worsham and his crew chief, Mr. Cool, Aaron Brooks.
Oh, Aaron Brooks is cool. Finals right here, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Well, here is the weather, and we're showing you this because remember the start of the show we talked a bit about how the density altitude changes, how all of it changes, and how it helps or hurts.
And you look right there, it's holding steady about 3,600 feet. That's based on the barometric pressure, the temperature, and the humidity. So basically, as far as horsepower, the cars are probably going to be, in pro stock anyway, making about the same horsepower as the previous round. Track temperature's gone up a little bit, and we've seen cars struggling to get some good 60-foot times because they're spinning the tires pretty hard when they let the clutch out.
Well, there's Dave Beckley. He's got power from Alan and Roy Johnson. His first race here at Bristol. In the other lane, and you know how I always say, Ricky Jones, 21 years old. It's the last time I'm saying that. Absolute last time.
Really? Why is that?
22 tomorrow.
Hey, happy birthday.
Well, Ricky Jones gets it down the track nicely. He's qualified for every race this season. Good combination. He stays, though, in 12, and Beckley stays in 16. You know, we're talking NHRA 101 terminology, and one of those we'll be talking about is a staging duel. There is Warren Johnson as he comes to the line, does his burnout, and we're going to take you back to one of the best staging duels ever. One of these guys got called a punk when it was over. Well, we mentioned Warren Johnson currently sits 11th in the points. He has 2 wins here at Bristol, was the #1 qualifier here last year, but lost in the first round to Mike Edwards, who sits #1 right now in this field. Johnny Gray is in the other lane. Again, the sunshine just bearing down on this track. 677 for WJ, 677 with a 4, just a tick faster for Johnny Gray. Well, we mentioned the staging duel. Warren Johnson was part of a big one, but here's the definition.
when both cars intentionally hesitate before moving into the staging position, delaying the start of the race. Drivers seek to gain a mental advantage over their opponent by interrupting the other driver's normal routine. Now, we also got to add on the fact that we go back to 2005 and look at this with Dave Conley and Warren Johnson. Who do you think got called the punk at the end of this thing?
The younger one.
Yeah, that was Conley. But now remember, once the first driver stages, the other driver has to stage within 7 seconds or they will be timed out and given an automatic red light. But when you're both pre-staged like they are, no, but there's no rule that says you have to go in first. And so they just sat there for quite a while, finally went in, and guess what? Red light for Dave Conley. Warren gets the win and called him a punk in his winning interview. It was a classic.
Yeah, sat there almost 2 minutes, and you saw Rick Stewart, the official starter. He just finally pulled out his stool and sat down. Here he is today in the sunshine at Thunder Valley, where the sound, the audio, if you're not watching on a set with one of those great systems, go get one. Get it right now in the next 5 minutes. It's going to be worth it. Definitely have it by tomorrow. Larry Morgan and Roger Brogdon. Roger is now 8th, and Larry Morgan is 11th. Larry, of course, liked to get into the field. And Brogdon has never qualified in the top half of the field. There he is. His first race here at Bristol. Larry Morgan, 5th is his career best start here. It's 11th now. Now listen at the end of the run.
Is that cool? Sounds like he drove it to the first turnoff.
So no change for either Roger or for Larry Morgan. So Roger's going to start in the top half of the field. First time. And how about another definition for you? Gary Gerald has it.
Hans device, H-A-N-S, head and neck support. It's positioned for a driver's shoulders, connects to the back of his or her helmet, limits movement of the head and neck in the case of a crash. Warren Johnson's been kind enough to allow us to tinker and use his Hans device as a prop. Here's the collar, of course, that fits over, the head and the neck here, comes over the shoulders, and then these straps attached to the side of the helmet right here. So it helps stabilize the head, keeps it in position. In case there's an impact, you don't get that violent movement of the head and neck that can result in injury. Very simple device, very effective device. This device, the Hans, and also a unit known as the R3, used by virtually all the drivers in competition in all the various classes.
And you remember, Mike, when all forms of racing were getting all kinds of head and neck injuries, then this came along and pretty well eliminated it.
Yeah, and I retired in 2001, never wore one when I ran. We just had the neck collar, but that's is a huge step up in the event you get in an accident. It can definitely save you. And I actually did wear one when I raced in Australia a couple of years ago for the first time, and it does take a little bit getting used to it when you first do it, but then after a couple of runs, it's actually pretty nice.
Can't get the head motion that you're accustomed to.
Yeah, and getting the position in the seat with the belts and everything, and tightening the belts is a little bit different than without it. So, but like I said, once you get used to it, it's fine.
Ron Krischer and Kurt Johnson. Kurt Johnson 9th, trying to get in the top half.
Ooh,
not doing it that way.
Man, Kurt was going for it.
So Krischer 674 with a 9. That's the quickest run of this session. And KJ, watch him.
Just spinning the tires big time makes that move towards the wall. Now, he didn't lift because it was going towards the wall as much as it was. He knew the run was pretty much over. That much wheel speed, he knew it wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. So he just pushed in the clutch and said, well, we'll have to try to hit the setup better tomorrow.
Well, Doug Herbert, top fuel driver at night. Boy, is this cool when the flames come ripping 10, 12 feet off of those pipes. kept all the weather away. And so we're qualifying fourth, the final session. Pro Stock, Greg Stanfield and Alan Johnson are on the line now. Alan Johnson's qualified number 1 6 times in his career. Here, his home track. He owns gas stations all over this part of Tennessee. That's rich, huh? Greg Stanfield goes away. Alan Johnson's going to take it on through. Stanfield was 4th. Johnson was 6th. And AJ runs a 6.75, and they both stay exactly where they were. Let's go on board. This is Jeg Coughlin. See, you can tell that if you're in television because it's got Jegs written right there on the dash. Jason Line is in the other lane. And that brings us up to that little thing there over on the left side of the dash. Whoops, nice try, Mike.
Well,
I called it the shift
right
light.
There
you are.
There we go. Yep, this is shift light. It's a very important piece of equipment on a Pro Stock car and Pro Stock motorcycles. Because remember, 5-speed transmissions, they got to hit it just right. It will light up at the proper RPM, telling the driver to make the next shift. And Pro Stock car, that first 1-2 shift comes very quickly. Then they got to hold the shift a little bit longer on the next shifts. So, and for a driver to make a good run in Pro Stock, take a look. You're going to watch on the helmet. You can see the light going through the gears. And they will adjust that for different drivers, because some drivers react a little bit quicker to the light, some are a little bit slower, so they will kind of lead the light accordingly so that the driver hits it just perfect to make that perfect run.
Yeah, that was Greg Anderson. This is on board with Jeg. I wonder if Anderson ever puts his visor down. He didn't then. Look at one of the instruments, though, Mike. It's got some tape over it. Why would they do that?
Which one's got tape over it,
on
Paul?
Jeg, it's, I don't know which. It's one of the 4 primaries there. Try and get a look there. See? Look right here. Huh?
Right there, the tape over it. I would guess that that's probably the brake pressure, because what they do is they set the brake pressure when they go on the stage on the line lock. So that tape might be where the needle needs to be. He puts it there, pushes the button on the line lock, and then he rolls it in with the clutch and then releases it. And they held about 300 pounds of brake pressure off the front to hold the cars on the launch. That's just a guess.
Nice job, though. I like it.
73 with an 8, 205, 32. Awesome.
Nice run.
Oh, yeah, quickest.
Yeah, I'd say awesome.
And you heard Roy Simmons call out the numbers to Jeg, but he remains 2nd, and Line remains 5th.
They got to be happy with this, because remember the previous run, they had some kind of mechanical problem when Jeggy let the clutch out, but not this time. Look at him running through the gears. That's pretty much a perfect run for these conditions. Didn't improve on his earlier time, but he was only a couple hundredths of a second off his best time. That's about as good as anybody's done this session.
And for Jeggy, that is the best qualifying of the year. Here are the best times of the session. No surprise that one you just saw was Jeg.
Big split, though, there from 1st to 5th, from a 73 to a 77. So a lot of the cars are just kind of struggling trying to get the setup right on them.
So Jeg Coughlin now complete, and that brings our final pair. And it's Mike Edwards and Greg Anderson. There's Anderson's got the visor down here. Number 1 qualifier 71 times in his career. Number 1 at Pomona and at Atlanta this year. So as Greg Anderson gets ready, I want to talk a little bit about line lock, Mike.
Well, and we talked about them doing it on the starting line, but they also use it on the burnout. They'll hold the brake pressure and they'll set that with the button off the front. It holds the front brakes. Once they get the car up to speed with the tire spinning in 5th gear, they release the button, which releases the front brakes, and then they feather the throttle to do the burnout. So the line lock is a very important piece of equipment on a Pro Stock car.
So Mike Edwards is in the other lane. He is the current number 1. Anderson is 3. And Edwards has just been having such a great year, making all kinds of power. 212 miles an hour, fastest Pro Stock car in history.
I mean, he has a race car, but we've still seen it go back and forth. It's not like, he's been dominant. We know he has a lot of horsepower, but then, like last race, Greg Stanfield, he was your number 1 qualifier, low ET and top speed. He kind of burst on the scene as far as making, big-time horsepower. Obviously, you got the KB Racing. Jeg now, he looks like he's coming back into the deal. I mean, they've all been pretty close, but it seems like every other race, somebody just kind of steps up and just gets a little bit more. But Mike Edwards has looked very good this weekend.
Number 1 qualifier, Phoenix, Gainesville, and Vegas. Look at it. Don't know what was going on there with Anderson, but Edwards just runs the quickest of the session.
Wow. You know, as you went on board with Greg, I mean, you take the reaction time. I mean, Mike Edwards, it was almost 400s quicker off the line, and then he was 200s quicker in 60 feet, and that's why you saw the car just shoot out there so far. You take a look at it from down track. But Mike Edwards has been making great runs all weekend long. If he can focus on the tree, I guarantee you he's good. Now take a look at this on board. You're going to see the thing launch, and it basically pulls out there. Mike Edwards, like I said, got the advantage off the starting line, ran quicker at 60 foot, and then just never looked back. Nice pass by Mike.
And just something to think about when Mike Edwards runs number one, he goes out second round every race. Let's go to Gary Gerould.
Paul, just to follow up on your observation there from the camera on board Jake Coughlin's car, this is the gauge over here, the tape. He's folded it halfway up, so it's partially obscured now. Jake, what are you covering up and why?
Well, it's our temperature gauge, and you know, we try and be robots in these pro stock cars anymore, be as consistent as we can for the crew chiefs, and to get everything you know, from run to run, to be as consistent as we can. And one thing I always kept a conscious eye on was the temperature of the car, and you know, anymore that can play a little conscious on myself, you know, wanting to, you know, change my routine on the starting line. And so I asked them if they'd mind if we just covered it up and we just get out there and race like we know how to do. And so we've done that the last year and a half or so, and it seems to take that little bit of distraction out of there where I'm not looking at it, and I can just stay focused on doing what I love to do.
And this guy's seemingly got the class covered this year, as well as that gauge right there. No distractions whatsoever. They tell you if you start thinking about anything up there, it may cost you a couple of tenths.
Robo Jeg tells you the story. Boy, you had that one cold, Mike.
Yeah, I missed that one by a mile. The brake pressure was the one all the way to the left. If we had a little bit better camera shot, I could have seen that.
Here's the Lucas Oil Pro Stock ladder with KJ and Roger Brogdon going to hammer at one another.
And the other side of the ladder, you're going to see Jeg going to go up against Ronnie Humphrey in that first round. Greg Anderson and Justin Humphries. That'll be a good matchup to watch.
Oh, take a look at this. There's the Food City dragster. Look at that.
That's
Big
a real
food basket.
That's a real grocery getter there.
And look who's getting up in it. Doug Herbert. He's getting ready to go. That's not what he's going to go in, though. Final session is coming up. And the question is this man right here. Can Spencer Massey get in?
Danica Patrick going side by side with Weldon. She'll be the leader in turn number one. My goodness. For a moment, all is right with the world. Danica Patrick leading the Indianapolis 500.
Their story will certainly be told for days to come.
Expect to see more moments like this. The Indianapolis 500 returns Sunday, May 24th on ABC.
Yeah, Memorial Weekend. The Grand Old Track is celebrating its 100th anniversary, and that is a race, the Indy 500, that always makes history. Here is Spencer Massey. Now remember, he is not in the field. Driving for Don Prudhomme this year, see if he is going to get into this field. But first, let's go to the far end. Gary Gerould has Mike Edwards.
Mike Edwards, fourth time out of 8 opportunities this season for you to be a #1 qualifier, and you got the competition kind of mumbling under their breath. What kind of satisfaction does that give you and your team?
Well, I owe it all to my team. They've just done a tremendous job with this car this weekend, and my guys at the shop, Nick and Paul, and just done a tremendous job. We've worked, you know, in certain areas where we felt like we were a little bit soft, and we've really put a big effort in our program this year, and it's really starting to pay off for us, Gary.
A lot of testing since St. Louis even, and once again, there's another payday and a great opportunity for elimination starting tomorrow.
There is Spencer Massey. Getting down the track has just been a real problem for him in all 3 sessions up to now.
Going to look at the first session there with Sean Langdon. He's going to smoke tires at the head of the throttle and backfire the supercharger. The second session, he just did not have the horsepower going down the track. Runs a 401, was not quick enough one of the 12 times to carry over.
So this is it. This is his chance. Will Massey make it in? Well, close call. That That's a 4:30 with a 2, but it's good enough to get him into 16th position.
Well, that definitely wasn't the run they were looking for, obviously. And in the third session today, he smoked tires to the hit of the throttle like he did in the first, and they just came back and basically tried to soften it up. It whisked the tires as it left the starting line, and then goes down tracks and starts spinning the tires, and then put some cylinders out after he backpedaled the car. He actually did I think a very good job of getting the car to recover, especially in his rookie season. Take another look at it. The car was just a little bit slow early, but it wasn't bad, and then it drives up in the tire smoke. Right there, he gets out of it, gets back on it, puts some cylinders out. He's able to salvage a 430 out of it. Currently gets him in the show. He's got one more car that can bump him out, and it's this car right here, Terry Haddock. Yep.
Well, Haddock's the only one that can do it. He runs a 403 with a 6, and Spencer Massey is gone.
There's an upset. Wow. I mean, that car has been run so well, and especially in qualifying, but boy, they've had their problems this weekend.
Gary?
Well, Spencer, I know that stings big time. Tell us about the feelings and the emotion of the moment.
Well, it's a big loss. I mean, of course, we've started coming on strong from Atlanta to St. Louis, and we've just been struggling. I mean, smoked tires a couple times, put a hole out in the second qualifying run last night, and just tried sponging it out through there now, and obviously it wasn't good enough. This team has all the effort in the world. We want to win every race we go to, obviously, and we try our hearts out. Donnie Bender, Todd Smith, they try the best they can do. I have all the faith in them, but this U.S. Smokeless, United Associations, JEGS, they hold with us. We're going to the next race and keep our heads up.
All right, thanks, Spencer. Stat guy?
Well, the last DNQ for Don Perdome Racing was with Larry Dixon. You have to go way back, Dallas of 2006. Of course, Spencer raced one time last year, and that was in Mitch King's car. He qualified for every race up until this weekend. Tough break for the young kid.
Yeah, that can be a heartbreaker. Well, there's Joe Hartley, and here comes Troy Buff. Back and take a look at Terry Haddock's run.
Well, you got to give Terry credit. I mean, he comes out here, he just goes from A to B, and he's done a great job in both the funny car and the dragster. He gets that thing down the racetrack and gets solidly in the show. A lot of pressure on him, but he rose to the occasion.
Gary?
Well, we've seen him in the funny car at the last race. He's in the dragster this time, and you just got yourself into the field, and I know that's got to feel real good with a 403.
You know what? This is just an awesome deal out here. We're trying so hard to stay out here. Some weeks it's funny car, some weeks it's Top Fuel. My crew's working themselves to the bone. We're out here looking for a sponsor. These guys told me to take it up here and drive this thing like I stole it, get it to the finish line. That's what I did. Thank everybody for keeping us out here. Wheel Antiques, Clevite Bearings, everybody. There's been so many little people helping this car keep going for years. Someday we're going to find that big sponsor, and all these big guys are going to have to deal with us. Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well, there's Joe Hartley. Now, in a couple of weeks, we head off to Topeka, Kansas. And remember, Hartley was the #1 qualifier there in 2007. So he knows how to do it. It's Troy Buff on the other side, driving for Bill Miller. Normally, you don't see Miller come out this far east, but he really likes this track. Troy Buff goes away. Hartley a 422, 283 miles an hour. But the run for neither driver does anything. Hartley remains 15th. Troy Buff is 10th.
Tell you, both those cars struggled big time on that run. And Joe Hartley, he had a cylinder out as soon as he hit the throttle and just ran all the way down there on 7. Might even put another one out down the racetrack. Take a look at over there. Cylinder out big time on that car. It was laboring. Troy Buff in the other lane had a pretty good run before it started spinning the tires, and then it put cylinders out because it took the load off the engine, but Joe drove it all the way. So part of our NHRA 101, what is a drop cylinder? It is when a cylinder becomes too rich, too much fuel in the fuel-air mixture, preventing the spark plug from firing. but it can also drop from being too lean. If you burn that spark plug up enough, it can't light the fuel either. But that was the case on that run. I think it was just too rich.
Let's send you to Dave Reef.
Well, Paul, there are shopping carts and there are shopping carts. Bet you've never seen a grocery getter quite like this one. When we come back to Bristol, we will go shopping with Doug Herbert. It's the Full Throttle Drag Racing Series from Bristol Dragway, Thunder Valley. Coming back at you in a big shopping cart next.
We're back. Bruton Smith's magnificent Bristol Dragway right next to the Oval. And the crowd here, nice little crowd today. With the weather was threatening, it's gone away. These are the Thunder Valley Nationals, the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. And here is Doug Kalitta. Now, Jim Oberhofer, the crew chief's been working hard on 60 foot. They're having a lot of trouble figuring it out. Let's see what Doug Kalitta can do. He's currently 9th. Well, they're still having trouble figuring it out. Doug Kalitta, who holds the quarter-mile track speed record here, and he'll stay in 9th place. Well, we mentioned that big grocery basket. This is one of those canned shots. Dave Reef.
Yeah.
Trying to climb into it, yeah.
I figured you'd find a way to get back at me, Paul.
Well,
I appreciate
this is only one of the get backs. You call me a dirtbag, man, and I'm getting you.
Hey, I ran 60 feet today. I had to find a place to sit down and relax. Unfortunately, I found that here, 15 feet high above the Food City shopping cart, along with Ron and Ray from Food City. Doug Herbert back at a racetrack for the first time in a long, long time with the Food City colors this weekend. How good does it feel to be here?
It feels great. I'm just so thankful to everyone at Food City for giving us the chance to come out here, and everybody with Bristol Dragway, Z-Max, and you know, everybody that just helped us get out here, because I wasn't actually planning on going until just a couple days ago and got the call that Food City wanted to help us, and awesome.
We certainly want to send our condolences to your family for your father, Chad, passing away. Obviously very instrumental in your land speed effort coming up. Remind everybody once again what kind of car we're going to be traveling in and how quick are we hoping to go?
Well, my dad did actually pretty much all the initial design work, and then Ray Evernham and his guys have fine-tuned it. But, you know, Chet Herbert designed car, and it's neat. We're planning on going to Bonneville with 2 Dodge Viper Pro Charger supercharged engines, 2,000 horsepower each, 2 of those, 4-wheel drive car, and we're planning on setting the world land speed record at Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, hopefully over 500 miles per hour.
And when's that going to happen?
This summer.
Oh, boy, we'll certainly look forward to that. Hey, you guys got nitro right over the top here, but we got something better even here, this shopping cart. Believe it or not, it does go. So, Doug, fire this thing up. All right. Way down there, there's about 400 horsepower going to be taking us around, and in a little bit, we'll show you just how this shopping cart handles. Sounds pretty good from up here.
Let's go.
Good luck, Reeve. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, well, let's get back to the fuel dragster that matters, the Antron Brown, back with the Matco Tool colors. They had DirecTV, and hopefully that exposure went well for them 2 weeks ago. Antron, fastest, quickest runs of the 2009 season so far in Top Fuel. 377, 318 miles an hour. He currently sits 7th here. A 396 with a 3. That is not going to move him off of that 7th position, but it does give him some confidence in what he did on that run to see how he will perform tomorrow. ABC is your destination for the NBA playoff Sunday as the Houston Rockets take on the LA Lakers. The conference semifinals of the NBA playoffs continue on ABC. Coverage begins at 3 with GMC NBA Countdown.
Go Lakers! Kurt Rambis!
They are.
Go!
Former California guy.
Oh, that's right. He's not playing anymore, is he?
Yeah, but still, you can cheer. Well, I hesitate on this next one. You look at Clay Milligan. Mike Dunn wanted to show you what incrementals and the speed trap was. So he got out his bicycle. You know, he's a big, big bicyclist.
We're talking about incremental times, and on a bicycle, we're going to be able to go a little bit slower, so we'll be able to discuss it. Obviously, pre-stage, my heart rate right now is at, hey, look at that, 105. I wonder what it'll be at the finish line. Pre-stage, now you're going to go in staged. Starter's going to hit the switch. I get the light, and I'm off. First light's going to be 60-foot time. Now this is the key here. You want to get up to speed. Then as we get going, just like a fuel funny car, top fuel dragster, I want to get some gearing going. Now we have the 330-foot time right there. Now this is where you throw everything at it. Put that big gear in there. We're going to start powering up. Here's the 8th mile clock. That's the speed. Elapsed time. Here it is, the finish line, 1,000 foot. And I'm dead. Heart rate 164.
28 miles an hour, almost 29.
Scared me.
Wow, you know, you're pretty fit. I mean, that's cool. That's very cool, Mike Dunn. Clay Millican, Larry Dixon. Clay's in trouble. And Dixon has the quickest run of the session. 392, 309 miles an hour, but still not quick enough to eclipse Dixon's 388 with a 6 that he ran last night. So we're talking there about incrementals and about the speed trap, Mike.
It's the final 66 feet of the track before the finish line. It is here that the driver's top speed is recorded, because remember, elapsed time and speed is recorded separately in drag racing. It's the speed at the finish line. If we took an average, we kind of did some factoring thanks to your son Brian, who's a engineer on IndyCar team, and he kind of came up with a number that if you averaged it out on one of the better runs, you're looking at about 179 miles per hour if we did it the way NASCAR and IndyCar does. But since we calculate at the finish line, we can tell how fast they are going when they cross that line.
Shawn Langdon comes up to the line, and Tony Schumacher, rookie, great champion, side by side. Dave Reef.
Hey, we got the shopping cart out for a ride. Doug Herbert just lost his hat. I mentioned 400 mile per hour. You guys were just talking about speed. It's going to be nowhere near Doug's 500 mile an hour effort, but believe it or not, this shopping cart, this grocery getter will go 55. You want to be 15 feet in the air going 55 miles an hour, Mike?
Since we mentioned grocery getter, there's another term. What does it mean?
Well, you know, back in the day when, you know, everybody brought their race cars, you know, somebody brought a station wagon running super stock or stock, you know, and the announcers would always say, yeah, you know, there's the old grocery getter running down the racetrack. And so it's a term that's been around for a number of years.
Shawn Langdon, who had his first top fuel run at night last night. We mentioned that. There goes the hat. And, you know, you got to give that back to the sponsor when the weekend goes.
Yeah, I think I'd have a helmet if I was in that thing.
Shawn Langdon had his first night top fuel run, and he thought it was a little scary. And Tony Schumacher, #1 qualifier here, the last 2 years, 2 wins here, too, 08 and 04. And Armed Forces Day for the Army car. Langdon fades, lights the tires, has to give it up. Schumacher runs at 394, but they will stay. Schumacher in 3rd and Langdon in 5th. Now, we saw a bunch of solo runs going down the track. Why?
Well, you get 4 sessions, and I mean, you don't have to run all 4 sessions. It's not mandatory. So some of the teams that are on lower budgets decide, you know, hey, I'm not going to go out there and run and try to save the money. Some other teams think, well, I'm not really going to learn anything, so they might sit out, and that's what happens.
Well, we have one more top fuel pair to go. They're getting ready to fire it up. We'll be back with that run, and also we'll be having the funny cars come to the line. There's some drama going on here. It's been a wild ride here for the likes of Tony Pedregon. Funny car is coming up, including Robert Hight, who's not in. At Thunder Valley, the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series for the Thunder Valley Nationals. We welcome you back to Bristol, Tennessee. I'm Paul Page, Mike Dunn, Gary Gerald, Dave Reef. Everybody's on top of it. We've got NHRA 101 going, where we go back to the basics for you. Right now, coming to the line is Corey McLenithan and Brandon Bernstein. Corey McLenithan, been the #1 qualifier 32 times in his career. And the last pole was Denver of last year. Let's go to Stat Guy.
Well, if he stays number one, looks like he certainly will based on the track conditions. He will tie on the all-time list for fourth some big names like Larry Dixon and our beloved Gary Sells, who did a nice job a couple weeks ago in the show. In front of them, Gary Beck, Tony Schumacher, and the one and only Joe Amato.
And in the other lane, it will be Brandon Bernstein, who scored his first ever career pole right here in 2003. Final pair, Top Fuel. Flash there off of Brandon. They came in first and second, and that's the way they're going to go away. Corey McClenathan has the pole. 33rd of his career.
Well, with the conditions the way they were, you knew Corey was going to end up on the pole, but I thought both of these cars would get down the racetrack, not much less both of them not getting down the track. You see Brandon go up there, spin the tires and put some cylinders out, and then backfires a supercharger. Corey McClenathan in the other lane pretty much doing the other thing other than the backfire. He was over there spinning the tires also, but a little bit of a surprise that both of those cars struggled on that run.
So here we go with the Lucas Oil Ladder for Top Fuel when they come for the final elimination starting at 7 o'clock right here tomorrow night. Doug Herbert, as he returns, will face Doug Coletta. Battle of the Dougs.
On the other side, you got Antron Brown going up against Troy Buff and Clay Milliken and Morgan Lucas. That'll be a pretty good matchup right there.
And so that's the way they will come to the line when we go to finals here in Thunder Valley. Well, Pro Stock Motorcycle is not here this weekend, but look there. There is Pro Stock Motorcycle racer Doug Horn, his sister Jessica, and boy, did they get some news. The Harleys have to add 20 pounds now. So coming up, it's going to be Funny Car, and there is the question. Robert Hight, is he going to make it into this field? Well, there's Andy Kelly. Funny Car getting ready to go. Look at that on the side of the car. Sponsors needed. Well, that's where you want them to advertise. Good place to advertise yourself.
Call now.
All right now, Andy Kelly is on the bump. A 463 with a 3. He's on a single. And that's the bump. That's the number that Robert Hight will be shooting for when he comes up in just a moment.
Andy Kelly has to make the run. Now, if Robert ran ahead of him, and the orders based on what they did in the previous round, then basically Andy could sit back and watch, and if Robert didn't get in, he could elect not to qualify or not to make this run, but he has to make it now. Oops. You have to sit on the time he has.
And so the bump time will remain at a 6:63 with a 3. Andy Kelly, his third ever NHRA race, is in, at least for the moment. But he knows, as we all do, that Robert Hight's back there at the line, chomping at the bit. His 100th race weekend as a pro. 4 times in that career, he has failed to qualify. Hear the roar echo off the mountains, too, of Jerry Tolliver as he comes up in the other lane. Last DNQ for Robert Hight was Houston last year. He is not in the field.
That would be a huge upset. I mean, even though Spencer Massey, that was a huge one, but Robert Hight, I guess maybe not. I mean, they definitely have been struggling this year, and we've always talked about the amount of power that Jimmy Prock is able to make. The key, though, is you have to get it hooked up, and you have tricky race conditions, track conditions right now. It could be something, but they have to do the same thing that Tony Pedregon did in the previous session. Just go A to B. Try to run like a 420 to a 425, and that will obviously qualify you in this field.
And he's been struggling all season. This might be the 4th DNQ of his career. Look at this.
In 07, he was second in the points, 4th last year, and right now he's tied for 10th and on the verge of not getting in the show. So to say that he has been struggling this year is an understatement.
Jerry Tolliver over there on the far side. 13th is the best that he's qualified here. He sits 15th right now. Big Jim Dunn won Seattle last year with Tony Bartone. Oh, Robert. 5:22, no. Wow. Robert Hight's out of there. 4th time in his career. That's a shocker.
Well, take another look at it. You know, they had it softened up. 60-foot was softened. When they tried to just apply the power and clutch out there, it just did not want to stick at all. Robert tried to back pedal. If you take another look at it right here, let's see if it goes into tire shake. Nope, I think it just flat drove up into tire smoke when they tried to get after it a little bit through the middle. And I guarantee they weren't aggressive with it. I mean, you know, Jimmy Prock went up there and said we can't get too greedy on it, but you know we can't go too slow. If you know, he felt if he went up there and I guarantee if Jimmy Prock thought that you know the track could probably hold like a 418, 419, let's go up there and try to run like a 423 to 425 is all they were probably trying to run, and for whatever reason it just didn't stick.
And at the line right now then is Bob Bodie and Jeff Arend. So let's go to the far end. Gary Gerould.
Dancing here around the car as Jerry Tolliver rolls up and stay out of the way of the chutes. Robert Hight, we've talked about the frustration of this season. How hard is this to deal with?
It's very tough, considering we know how good a team this is. And, you know, every year this team's contending to be a championship. And the Auto Club and Ford and Mac Tools, Brand Source, all these guys pay us money. And they don't pay us to be this bad. And trust me, we're not this bad. We're just struggling. We're going to get through it. We're going to work hard. I wouldn't trade any of my guys, any of my people for anybody. We're going to get through this, and we're going to come back strong. This car will be in contention for the championship at the end, I promise.
Thanks, Robert.
You saw that kind of determination in the run itself. As soon as it got straightened up, Robert was right back in the throttle, but it was already too late. Bob Bodie, 5th is his best qualified start of the season. That was at Las Vegas. Now he's here sitting 12th. Jeff Arend grew up in Toronto, Canada, over there in the DHL car on the far side. Then the #1 qualifier twice in his career, Indy in 07 and the finals of 07. Ooh, that's a nice view. How do you get up there, Mike?
Beats me.
Oh, that's an awesome view. 429 for Bodie, for Arend, 434, and they'll stay where they were, 12 and 14. How about Dave Reef? What do you got, buddy?
Imagine, if you will, that each of these cans of pop is a nitro power plant. And while my 7,000 horsepower is happy at the top of the racetrack, my friend Brian from Bristol here has got a motor that's dropping cylinders. There are connecting rods breaking. The crankshaft's going to go. It'll be a catastrophic explosion. Oh, if not for the burst panel. That's the tab in the top of that can. And on a funny car, there are actually 2 burst panels. The first one can be found on top of the body, this big square. Should that engine explode from the inside, this is what keeps the bodywork from breaking into a million pieces. Similarly, on the intake manifold, there are 2 burst panels as well. Should the internal pressure grow to be too big in there, those burst panels will break. Thereby, there will not be engine parts all over this racetrack. And while my friend Brian here had the unfortunate, well, occurrence, if you will, to wear the results of his burst panel coming out, mine's fine. Would you just like a drink of my soda? Thanks for your efforts, too. Oh, wow, you're sticky. Yuck.
Hey, Brian, shake that can, spray it all over Reef, will you?
And here's how it works. There's Jerry Tolliver having a major backfire on the supercharger. You saw the burst panel in the body, relieving the pressure from underneath, even though the body jumped up a pretty good amount. Like you said, in the old days, that body probably would have split in half or in a bunch of pieces, and saves a lot of money and a lot of pieces.
Engine fired, ready to go. New livery, the Jimmy Johnson Foundation on the car of Tony Pedregon. There's the burst panel on the top of the body. And Jack Beckman is over on the other side. We've got more for you when we come back. Well, back in Nitro Alley, the crowd having a great time. Yeah, bring your family out to an NHRA full throttle drag racing event. Have a good time. Smile for that one, Mike. Nice. And And on the line, Jack Beckman and Tony Pedregon, the fans up in the stands ready to check out the end of qualifying with Funny Car. And Jack Beckman is a story not just because of qualifying where he sits 10th, but because Valvoline in this economy that seems so tough on so many racers, Valvoline has said they are staying with this car to 2010 and beyond. Beckman and Pedregon. Tony Pedregon was 13th, trying to move up. The 421's a nice run, not good enough to move though, and Beckman with the 432 stays 10th. Well, we all know that nitro is one of my favorite words. But what is it? Well, Dave Reed knows.
Yes, I do. It is produced specifically as a fuel for drag racing, a result of a chemical reaction between nitric acid and propane. And if you're looking for its chemical makeup, it is actually CH3NO2. That's what makes it up. VP is the official supplier here for the NHRA, and they will sell you about a 40-gallon drum of this for $970. Factor in the entire weekend, VP will supply 2,500 gallons of nitromethane to our competitors out here. So you can see it's quite big. And as far as nitromethane, what it looks like, we'll just take a peek down here at this. Kind of has a greenish tint. And that's all you need to know about nitromethane.
No, there's one other thing. It's the color.
Well, that greenish tint is actually a dye that they put in there that it will make a chemical reaction. Back in the days, guys used to run hydrazine, which was very volatile, and if you did, it would actually turn the nitro like a blue or a purple. So, and it also will tell you nowadays, if you get water, if it's contaminated, it will change color too.
NHRA Race Day presented by Lucas Oil is on the air at 11 o'clock in the morning with Dave Reef and Mike Dunn. And then we'll have the finals right here at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Make sure you're there. Here's Mike Neff and Jim Head. Jim Head closest to you, the Western Governors University car. Good to see him running a few races this year. Mike Neff, his second trip to Bristol, qualified #1 here a year ago.
Went to the finals.
Of the Thunder Valley Nationals, brought to you by Full Throttle. Go full throttle or go home. And Visa. More people go with Visa.
Oh, check this out. Look down there at the headers, the exhaust pipe. Look at them glowing red in the dark last night for Ron Capps. That's pretty cool. What kind of temperatures that take, Mike?
That's hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
I always like those precision answers that you're kicking out.
That's why I make the big bucks.
John Force and Bob Tasca. Force, the most pole positions in funny car history, but he hasn't been #1 in over 2 years.
As you take a look at Austin Coyle, asked him if he's going to get this car turned around. He told me, a quote, "Our hot rod is getting ready to hurt some feelings. I just hope it's not ours."
Oh, that's a good line. I wonder where he got that. Did you write that for him?
Oh, that was all Austin, trust me. Wow, that's a
quickest
nice
run of the session there.
Quickest run of the day
for Tasca, yeah. 289 miles an hour, but it doesn't improve on last night for either John Force or Bob Tasca. They're 7th and 8th in the field. A little bit earlier, Gary Gerald caught up with #1 Top Fuel, Corey Mack.
33rd time in his career, Corey McLenathan is a #1 qualifier, but it's been a while. It was Denver last year on the Western Swing, the last time he had the #1 spot. And I know now you got to parlay that success into round wins tomorrow. But we're talking about the possibility of dramatic change in temperature. How may that impact your setups?
Well, I mean, when you're thinking about 25 to 30 degree impact, I mean, the difference in degrees anyways, I mean, it could be eventually a lot cooler tomorrow. Well, we tried some stuff on this Fram Tough Guard Top Fuel Dragster today that we won't use tomorrow. So we're kind of getting a head start because we plan on testing some things. So it's one of those things where you get qualified in the field. Now, to be #1, it's been a little while for me to be #1, but these guys are doing a great job. We need to parlay this into some round wins tomorrow, try to win. I want to be the first guy to qualify #1 and be #1 on race day.
Here comes Cruz Pedregon and Ron Capps. Capps, who has led the points all year, and you're looking right in the face of Cruz Pedregon. Started second here in 2004. That's his best start here at Bristol. Pedaling. When a driver lifts off the throttle, then gets back on it again in an attempt to regain traction with the rear tires. Comes a pedal fast.
And the greatest one of all time was here in 2004. Phil Burkhardt left side of your screen. Cruz Pedregon on the right. Both drivers trying to get it under control. Wheel standing sideways. Oh my God, hang on. And Phil Burkhardt wins on a hole shot. A 9:25 elapsed time beats Cruz's quicker 9:23. Greatest of all time.
We saw your version of a pedal fast earlier, and that's the real thing right there.
Yeah, and they ain't wearing spandex either, so
yeah,
that's another issue I got.
Didn't want to bring that up, but the PA sure did. The radio on for Ron Capps. It's pretty quiet. Runs 4:22 with an 8. There's Ed the Ace McCullough. They stay fifth. Cruz stays sixth.
You know, and I think Ace probably isn't going to be that happy. Look at this great shot from up on the hill. Take a look at how fast these cars accelerate down the race.
Not a bad seat in the house. It's so great at Thunder Valley. There's a look up all the way up the hill. Look at you can camp up there. Let's get us a big motor coach, Mike, and do that. Well, here at Thunder Valley, where the sounds are great, it's time for our Sounds of the Strip. Listen to the echo.
Put like half of that. Like one of them. Now you can see it from back there. Oh yeah. It's going on and then it left to the wall. Yeah. I just got my other hand. Like half rack or so. Just got my hand on the parachute.
Sound wash over the track, even though they had to both shut it down a little early. So Tim Wilkerson and Matt Hagan will stay second and fourth and bring us to our last pair in funny car qualifying.
Well, both cars trying to test the racetrack. Matt Hagan had a cylinder out when he hit the throttle. That probably led it to go into tires shake and then smoke the tires and backfire the supercharger. Tim Wilkerson, I think, just might have overpowered it when he tried to bring the power on after he got through the shake zone. As a result, both cars coasted across the finish.
Oh, sweet. I'm getting me a nice big sound system for next year. Ashley Forrest Hood and Del Worsham. Final pair For Dell, Sunday will be his 350th race day start. For Ashley Force Hood, if she can do it, this will be her 5th career #1. She sits there right now. Del Worsham is 3rd.
Bet on it. She's going to be #1. The conditions just aren't there. The quickest run we've seen today is Bob Kaska's 4:18. The next quickest would be Ashley's father, John. He went 4:19 in the first session, which was also a very good run. Conditions are a little bit better than in the first session, but I don't think good enough to run quicker than a 4:10.
There's your track temperature as well.
21 degrees. That's a little bit warm right there. And that 120 degrees, that's kind of the margin a lot of the teams look at. When you start getting over 120, 125, that's when it gets very, very tricky. You know, the track's probably a little bit cooler because the sun's going down off the side a little bit, and the track's doesn't have the direct sunlight on there, but obviously it's still not as good as it was at last evening's session.
Well, there's Aaron Brooks looking down on Del Worsham, his car. Aaron Brooks won his first race as a tuner at St. Louis. By the way, a little number for you on Del Worsham. He now has one more race win in his career than Mike Dunn. Ashley Force goes up in smoke, and Del Worsham completes the run with a 4:26, 281. He stays 3rd, and Ashley Force Hood is #1. Go to Dave Reeve.
Down on the starting line with a very proud father. John, it wasn't exactly the run you wanted to see right now, but hey, she stayed #1. It's her 5th already. Can you believe that?
She's got a good Castrol hot rod. She's doing her game. She's staying cool and not letting this get in her head. I'm really proud of her. Girl out here, you know, competing with the boys, and she's going A to B, and she got low ET. And the guys may not like it, but I tell you, the guys like the hot rods that are the fastest, right? And the women, but they like the woman.
But do you like it when your daughter's that quick? She's beating up on you, too.
I don't like anybody outrunning me. But, you know, for Brand Source and everybody, Sanyo, and all the people that support us, Auto Club, we still got their logos on the cars. Jimmy Prock and Robert, they've been struggling. Yeah. But Jimmy's got something there, and when it works, it's going to be good.
And here's the Lucas Oil ladder for Funny Car. Again, getting ready for tomorrow. And as we look down that list there, the rookie Matt Hagan will face the former champion Tony Pedregon.
Other side of the ladder, big matchup. John Force going up against Jack Beckman. Jack, one of the few drivers with a winning record against John Force.
Robert Height didn't make it into this field. His teammate Ashley Force Hood, though, is #1, Gary.
Yes, indeed. Second time this year for her to be #1. You mentioned 5th time in her young racing career. The last time you were #1, I think you got to the finals in Atlanta. How are you going to do tomorrow? You're thinking right now. How confident are you?
We are confident. We didn't have 4 great runs like you hope for going into a race, but we did have some good solid runs and we ran good. This track is a little tricky, and with the weather and everything, all the teams I think are really going to have to get everything figured out and be ready for tomorrow. But that's NHRA drag racing. I think you'll see great racing out here tomorrow. Hopefully we can be a part of that for Castrol and Ford and Auto Club Brand Source. We'll put our Mac Tools to work back in that trailer, and I don't think I gave my team too much of a mess. The car seemed happy. It didn't go quite as fast as we wanted, but maybe we're getting any of those bad luck out of the way on qualifying. We'll be ready for race day tomorrow.
All right, thanks. Well done.
All right, in NHRA 101, what was the one thing that we didn't discuss?
What was it?
What is drag racing? Where did that come from? Why do they call it that? The answer? Nobody really seems to know.
I haven't a clue.
If you know, well, hit us at NHRA@ESPN.com. And even if you don't know, try to make up a good story, like 3 sentences or less, and we'll see what comes up. The next time we come on the air in Topeka, we'll get it going for you. NHRA Race Day is our next on the air from here at 11 o'clock in the morning. So Ashley Force Hood, she's #1 in Funny Car. Corey Mack in Top Fuel, and Edwards in Pro Stock. We'll see you tomorrow.